you know, people didn't look twice, I'm sure. So it's kind of, what's going to happen, once Kane gets a taste of wrestling again, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure who I want to win. I'm gonna, all signs point to Triple H. However, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to say.
Yeah.
I could easily say this is going to be a no contest.
Yeah, but then what would you do after that? Yeah, okay. Build it up to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
How?
Well, only time will tell.
Yeah.
Boy, you crying wolf. Oh yeah, we have our last match. Oh, wait a second. Now, apparently, at the Survivor Series, we're supposed to see a take team match. It looks like Brothers of Destruction versus DX. But we'll see when that happens. There's still time. But hopefully, I mean, if it does happen, it'll be the last time. I hate beating a dead horse, but there it is. Anyways, that was Super Showdown. It was a good show. And I mean, it was in another continent, so obviously better. But we'll see what happens at the Survivor Series. But, anyways, so. I'm doing that. This is Killer Kyle, and welcome to. Hey, me and Matt here. This is Killer Kyle, and welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. And we're the Grey Boys today.
Yeah, really.
So, we are continuing our look back at your series 2018 with
Super Showdown.
Yeah, seeing as how Elimination Chamber is going to be in Perth, Australia, Australia in general, I thought, what the fuck? Let's talk about Super Showdown, which happened in Melbourne, Australia.
The very first show in Australia.
Right, yes.
It's crazy how this was 2018 and it took like 6 years for them to go back to Australia for like a premium live event.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. That kind of is like, okay, it's interesting to me how you go to England, you go to Germany, and so on and so forth, Japan, and then it took you that long to go down under.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if the show holds up. I mean, we just watched a highlight reel of the show, and I might need an aspirin, but let's see how. I don't know. I mean, it was an interesting time.
Yeah.
So, and it was one of those pay-per-views, rather, that started during the day. Well, for us.
Yeah, for us.
So,
Much like all in, well, once again, he's showing England. It starts early for us.
Yeah.
Time difference.
Yeah. So anyways, there's nothing to it but to get to it. So we begin with this match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We've got The Bar versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods of the New Day. And how relevant, like, those two guys are still going strong in WWE as of right now.
Kofi and Xavier, yeah.
Now, Big E is out for, I mean, who knows if he'll come back.
Yeah.
You know, he's been injured for a year, or a couple of years, rather.
Doesn't seem like that long.
But, of course, Claudio Castagnoli is in AEW. Sheamus is wherever Sheamus is.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, honestly, what's going on with him. But
yeah.
This was a good match. And, yeah, the New Day really took over in this match. I mean, it had a lot of offense from The Bar.
Right. Any matches that the New Day and The Bar at this time had against each other were really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true as well. But, and it's funny because the New Day went in the champions and they came out still the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
So.
Had a match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defending against Charlotte Flair. This match ended in a disqualification, which is like, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, we all know how I feel about Charlotte Flair as a wrestler, as a personality rather, and then this was just coming off of SummerSlam, and, you know, Becky turning heel, so to speak, eventually becoming the man persona. But, yeah, this was the shits. It really was. Yeah, Charlotte won, but Becky retained the title.
Yeah, Becky got herself disqualified.
Yeah. And it took a few times, I guess. But whatever.
Right.
It's just one of those matches where it's like, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. It was... Yeah. Yeah. Anyways. So now we have a tag team match. We've got John Cena and Bobby Lashley versus Elias and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And two of these guys are still relevant.
Surprisingly, yes. I mean, John Cena and Bobby Lashley being a team wasn't really something that was expected, or really anything we thought we'd ever see. And Elias and Kevin Owens basically was like, Kevin Owens was essentially defending Elias from constantly getting interrupted from his like concerts, and so they became like friends because of that. Yeah, like Matt said, Lashley's still pretty relevant, as is Kevin Owens. Elias got let go by the company. Cena just makes one-off appearances here and there. So,
I mean, when you can see him.
well,
I had to make that joke. Anyways. And you know, to Elias' credit, he is a good wrestler.
oh yeah,
He's got the physique. He's got a personality. The whole Ezekiel bullshit was dumb, but I mean... And that's kind of ironic because that would be a feud with Kevin.
yeah,
But this was a good match, and John and Bobby worked together well, you know?
yes,
And yeah, two powerhouses versus two guys that well, I guess, at the time, weren't that good. I don't know. Anyways, John and Bobby ended up going over. And yeah, that was a pretty good match. And it's good to see John Cena come back once a year. If that, I don't know. He talks about retiring eventually. But we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah. Then you got another tag team match player. The Iconics versus Asuka and Naomi. Of course, the Iconics being Australian, so of course they would be on this card. And it's interesting how the Iconics got let go by WWE in 2019, was it?
2020, I think.
Or right around the pandemic.
Yeah.
Then they went over to Impact at the time. They were the Revolution, or no, the.
Not sure. No, not. Yeah, I don't know.
They had another name.
I'll type it in.
Yeah. And they challenged for the Knockouts tag titles a few times. I don't think they won the titles.
Yeah.
And then I think both of them ultimately ended up just leaving wrestling.
Unfortunate. Well, not unfortunately. I mean, Rice basically, had a child with Sean Spears.
Yeah.
So she's doing the mom thing, I guess, for a while until she feels up to going back to the ring. Billie Kay, I'm not sure where she is unless she's on the independent scene. I don't see them leave wrestling forever.
No.
I don't know if they'll ever return to WWE again, but
You never know. Yeah. Cassie, like my said, just had a baby with Sean Spears or Tyler Dillinger. What I think Jessica recently got pregnant too, didn't she?
I'm gonna look that up, but I'm not quite sure myself. But yeah, Cassie and Sean are parents, and
Yep.
Sean's back in the ring. I'm not sure where he is at the moment.
Yeah, it might be Rampage or Collision. I haven't seen him on Dynamite as of late.
Yeah. And of course, Naomi just came back from TNA
Yeah.
as Trinity, and we'll see where the second run goes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't think her and Asuka were a good tag team.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Iconics won the match.
Of course.
So, I mean, they fought, though. They were, Naomi was always a good wrestler.
Yes.
So was Asuka.
Yes.
So, I'm sure they'll see each other in the ring again at some point.
More than likely.
Yeah.
With Naomi returning at the Rumble and then signing a SmackDown contract. So yeah, her and Asuka, I'm sure will have probably a run-in again at some point down the line.
Speaking of TNA, we have a no count out, no disqualification match, aka no holds barred,
Essentially.
for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, two TNA, I guess you could say TNA originals.
This feud was the shits, but boy did they have good matches.
Oh
here.
yeah, they had great matches.
I mean, I saw them in Peterborough. They had a match. Probably Backlash. Yeah, no, that was in Nakamura.
Yeah.
So, this was a good match too. It started off in the alley. The entrance.
The entranceway, the aisleway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really thought that Samoa Joe was gonna win, get the title,
Yeah, really.
but AJ Styles ended up going over, and
Yep.
Yeah. You know, that's something I don't understand because, I mean, look. You have a guy like Samoa Joe. He was a jobber back in the day, and I get it. Who knows if he was gonna have a career in WWF. Then he comes over to WWE in 2017. Maybe, no. It was in NXT in, I think, 15.
I believe so.
Had a good run there. Won the NXT Championship. Of course, it was a Triple H brand, so he was gonna have a good career there, but then he went over to SmackDown and he got fucked over.
Basically.
Like, you put him in with AJ Styles and you have matches for the WWE Championship.
Right.
And it's all about Wendy! Wendy! We're gonna stalk AJ Styles' wife? Like, really? Wasn't good at all. And then, you know, to have matches where he doesn't even get the strap once. You could have literally given him the title and then have him lose the title at the next event. But no, we couldn't even do that. We couldn't have AJ Styles with the title at least once. Because look, he's a big bad motherfucker and he had the feud with Brock Lesnar. He could have had the championship, the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship, but you decided not to do that. And you gave him a match with Roman Reigns, two Samoa guys, and that didn't work out too well. And you got off Samoa Joe. You should have had the title. You could have given him the title. He had every title under the sun! And you couldn't have done that. It really sucks. It really, really fucking sucks.
Yeah, well, now Samoa Joe's in AEW and he's the current AEW champion, so I mean...
It worked out for him there.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vince. AJ Styles, though.
Yeah, AJ's still killing it.
He's still killing it, and he did not fuck around with his time off.
No! No, he didn't.
I mean, it's scary to think the guy's almost 50, and his body's just jacked.
Like, you look back, okay, this was in 2018. Well, you look at AJ throughout his career, he's always generally been in really good shape. Got abs, you know, fairly decent definition in the biceps and, you know, shoulders and that. When he got taken out by Solo ahead of the tag team match, it was supposed to be Cena and AJ versus Solo and Jimmy, and then they took out AJ and LA Knight took AJ's place. And then he was away for 4 months. And then he returned just before Survivor Series. And was more built, like more defined muscularly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's, you know, what you need to do in order to stay relevant in the ring.
I believe so, yeah.
And I mean, without steroids or anything like that, you can condition your body.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And make it so that, you know, there's guys that are like 50, 60. I don't recommend them going back in the ring. That can still go.
Oh,
but, you know, Alan Jones has one of those bodies that he can go for another 4 or 5 years.
Oh, at least.
So.
Yeah, like if you eat right, you work out regularly, maybe take, you know, supplements and stuff like that. Yeah, you can be in great shape and not have to use enhancers, if you will. So now we go on to a 6-woman tag match. We got Ronda Rousey and the Bellas versus the Riot Squad. And Ronda is currently in Ring of Honor with Marina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Bella twins, or Garcia twins, now I guess you could call them that, are, I guess, retired.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Riot Squad, old Ruby's over in AEW. Liv Morgan just recently came back after Rumble from an injury. Sarah Logan is right now working with
Hanson. Eric, I guess.
Ivar of the
sure.
Viking Raiders. She's their Valhalla.
Yes. This was a good match. I mean, I obviously like the Riot Squad.
Yeah.
And again, I keep saying this, and I mean, this is kind of where the tag team titles of the women, I don't think were relevant at this time.
No.
Which is a shame, because you had the Riot Squad, Ronda Rousey, the Iconics, and the Bellas. Now, obviously, the Iconics would win at WrestleMania 35.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But still, like, this was a good match. And I think that the Riot Squad would have went over, but I think that Ronda was supposed to get a good push at this time.
I believe so, yeah.
And then, of course, the Bellas were always good in the ring.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate, but I understand why they don't wrestle no more. But
yeah,
at the time, I think, and yeah, there was that incident where I think it was Nikki that gave Bliv a concussion accidentally.
Yeah.
And accidents happen, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was a good match, and I can't remember if the Riot Squad and the Bellas still continued the feud or whatever, so.
Yeah.
Now we go on to the Cruiserweight Championship. I obviously said Buddy Matthews when I thought about it, but it's like, what the hell is his name? Oh yeah, Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
Buddy Murphy taking on Cedric Alexander, and Cedric had the grape juice title. I mean, a new version of the Cruiserweight title.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, again, like, you have these two high flyers who basically were one of the best wrestlers in independence. Of course, Cedric coming from Ring of Honor.
Yes.
And just kind of like somebody that could have had another title besides the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
And probably will still get it, but I'm not sure. He did have a good run with the Hurt Business with Bobby Lashley.
Yes.
So, and Buddy Murphy, we know what happened with him.
Yeah.
He's in AEW. And
House of Black.
yep. And yeah, he had a good run as well. Obviously, he could have had another title in the main roster.
Right.
But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Of course, Buddy being another Australian boy.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I even said in a prediction video at the time, it would have been cool to see Buddy or the Iconics come out with the Australian flag.
Yeah.
You know? But I guess they were heels, so maybe that wasn't a good idea. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Going to another tag team match. This is what? Fifth?
Ah, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, fifth.
This is Battle in the Valley before Battle in the Valley.
Basically, you have the Shield of Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns versus Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. We obviously know that Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre were a tag team at this time.
Yes.
Braun Strowman, who had a feud with Roman Reigns,
Right.
And yeah, this was actually a very good match. I think the Shield were a good stable.
Yes.
And yeah, they really, I mean, I think they even did a power bomb to get unstable in this match.
I believe so, yeah.
Now, regardless, Mox got the win for the team.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and of course, this is right around the time that Moxley had decided he was not going to resign with WWE, and then, of course, we know he went over to AEW. He's been crushing it in AEW.
crushing it in AEW, crushing it in Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was a fucking beast. CZW, HWC, or whatever the fuck. They're just one of the best.
GCW.
GCW, yeah, one of the best wrestlers all around. And I mean, it's too bad that things didn't work out in WWE as they should have. But once again, you look at it as, okay, you were a Grand Slam champion in WWE, but it was almost like at what cost? You know, that being said, right now, you've got Roman Reigns, 3 years as the WWE Universal Champion. Then, of course, Seth Rollins as your World Champion of Raw.
Yes.
So,
And, like, I think Moxley's previous time in CZW and HCW, whatever the hell it was, would have prepared him eventually, you know, going to AEW and having, you know, some really bloody, brutal matches in AEW. He, every now and again, will go over to GCW and have some matches there. He was at one point the GCW champion.
that is true, yes.
Then, of course, as we know, in beginning of January, like middle of January, Moxley had that no disqualification match with Hiroki Goto
Yeah.
and Battle in the Valley,
Yep.
which was a pretty good match.
And soon enough, he'll be challenging Naito. So, that'll be fun.
Yeah, Moxley and Naito are going to have a match, I believe, at Windy City Riot,
Nice.
which is kind of pretty soon, actually.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny because we talk about wrestlers going to NXT from New Japan or Noah. Tetsuya Naito, I think, would have done pretty well in NXT.
I think so, yeah.
But who knows what they would have done with him, really.
Yeah. Number one contender match for the WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
I mean, these two had a stellar feud going way back to Talking Smack when Miz cut that promo. And
Oh, let's
then
go. This feud goes back
Way
way
back.
before that.
2010, yes. The installment of the game show NXT, where The Miz and Daniel Bryan worked together.
Right.
This is Bryan's first go around in a company, and it's like, yeah, these two had a very good feud, you know, and then, yeah, Bryan won this match and become number one contender for the WWE title.
And a fairly quick match, too.
Yeah.
Like, this is the quickest match on the card. Like, okay, the Iconics match went almost 6 minutes, 5:45. This match only just under 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, shit. Obviously, we had to make way for the main event.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, Bryan won, number one contender for the WWE title.
Yeah.
We all know how his title reign went. Wooden fucking bland fucking piece of shit toilet fucking stool softened piece of shit fucking title.
Yeah.
So Yeah, anyways, this was a good match, a good feud. But yeah, Brian is doing much better as the American Dragon, as he should be,
Yes.
in Ring of Honor, All Elite Wrestling.
Yes.
And I mean, also doing some great stuff in Japan.
Yes.
So, I mean, and of course, The Miz is still, I mean, there's nothing to take away from him. 2-time Grand Slam champion. So
Right.
it's like, what more can he do, honestly? I don't think he wants to go anywhere else. I don't think Mike wants to be in AEW or Ring of Honor or Impact. I think he is quite happy being a WWE wrestler for the last not even 20 years.
Almost.
Yeah. So, now we have a no disqualification match. We've got Triple H versus The Undertaker.
Which is billed as last time ever, I think it was.
Can we not have had one-on-one? Seriously, can we not have had one-on-one? We had to have the big red machine and Yertle the Turtle in their corners? Why? We saw Triple H and Undertaker many times face each other over the years, but come on. This was all a setup for a match, a tag team match, DX and Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah.
And I have even said in my review video of 2018, I thought it was going to be Survivor Series. It ended up being in Saudi Arabia. And we all know what happens in Saudi Arabia. And I mean, I don't know if I want to call this match clunky, but like, there was a lot of interference.
Well, yeah.
And then, Triple H won. Kane, Undertaker shake their hands and put their hands up and playing their song in whatever. And then they basically choke slam Shawn Michaels. And then Undertaker, they choke slam Triple H. Then Undertaker delivers a choke slam outside the ring to Shawn Michaels. And yes, it was a tombstone. I realize that now that I think about it.
Yes.
And then they're in the aisleway. They all do this. And then, the tag team match, which I know we all want to forget, and Saudi Arabia. Was that worth your ego, boys?
Ego. I don't think ego had a fucking thing to do with it. I think, and it was a simple matter of the fact that Undertaker was, winding down his career. He was looking for that right match to walk off into the sunset with, and he got that match against AJ. Of course, it was during the pandemic, but he got the match he could hang his hat on and walk away, retire from wrestling, and what have you. And, I'm sure a lot of people have been wanting to see Brothers of Destruction versus DX forever, probably since back in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I know.
And, yeah, it took years to get there and finally got it. Was it, a 5-star match? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Were there some moments in there that kind of like, ooh, that was, yeah. I mean, yeah, you got fucking Triple H tearing his pec. You got Kane's mask getting knocked off.
Which I think is the stupidest thing ever. We all know what he looks like without a mask.
Aside from that, though, okay, the match in and of itself wasn't that bad. Could it have been better? Absolutely, it could have. Was it one of the worst matches ever? In my opinion, no. It was fairly good for what it was. You know, I really think that it was one of those things where before Undertaker rode off into the sunset and, finally decided to call it a career, they were wanting to give the fans that dream match of DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. Now, yes, it required Shawn coming out of retirement for one more match and whatever. But I mean, like, for what it was worth, I mean, the match definitely is going to be remembered for, you could say, all the wrong reasons, but, I mean, I really don't think anybody necessarily was expecting a 5-star classic from them. They were just enthralled in the idea of, oh man, Brothers of Destruction versus DX, potentially one time only. And, for what it was worth, it was, the build-up was great, really good excitement behind the match. Unfortunately, you had Triple H doing a move he's done, I would say, thousands of times before, getting thrown into the corner, going over the top rope, hooking his arm on the top rope, so he goes over nice and easy and fucking tears his back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like Matt said in the incident with Nikki and Liv Morgan, accidents fucking happen.
They do. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now, I mean, okay, the whole thing with Cash getting knocked off and, him hiding his face. Yes, we already know what he looks like without the mask. And could that have been avoided? Yes. Was it? Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
But, they did the best with what they had to work with, and they pulled off the match fairly well, regardless of what happened.
Yeah.
Could we have gotten the match, let's say 10 years prior? Sure we could have. Why we didn't? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. No, it wasn't no Undertaker Goldberg.
Yeah, again, another one of those things where, I'm sure a lot of people were wanting to see Goldberg versus Undertaker. Undertaker, mainstay of WWE. Goldberg being the dominant ass-kicking machine of WCW. Goldberg makes his way back to WWE and is like, oh man, Goldberg versus Undertaker, this is gonna be fucking awesome. But again, another one of those matches that unfortunately is remembered for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and I remember 2005 going and doing fantasy matches with a friend of mine. And putting Goldberg and Undertaker together, thinking this would be fucking awesome if this happens in real life. And it, for all intents and purposes, it did.
Yeah.
It was just very disappointing, the end of the match, the end of the outcome.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure when that match finally came about, people had a hard on about it. And, like I said, when we did a review of it, the match started off great.
Yeah.
Not realizing that Goldberg basically concussed himself heading into the match. But it didn't really seem to be phased any. The match started off great, then fucking Goldberg went into the corner, got busted open, and it was just straight downhill from there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, this has been another episode of Wheels of Fury, the second installment of Look Back at 2018.
Yeah. I believe will be for No Surrender?
Yes.
Because Elimination Chamber is until near the end of the month.
Oh, okay. And then, of course, we get into
Yeah.
other stuff like Revolution next month, and
Yes.
so look forward to that. And in the between time and in between,
In the meantime and in between time,
yep, I'm not editing that out. I mean, Matt, this is Killer Kyle, and we will talk to you next time. Deuces.